Hi, this is G-Mac for the Razor Company and welcome to another shave. Today's focus will be a return back to the Rockwell, this time the 6C. Stay with me. It's a bright and sunny day in these parts. Left the windows open. It's a bit of light coming in. A bit humid, about I think it's 29 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius. Humidity at about 70%, and I'm beginning to sound a bit like a weatherman. So let's get straight down to talking about razors. There's a reason why I wanted to go back to Rockwell razors. A lot of shavers will often tell you that if there is one razor they had to live with, they would live with a Rockwell. It doesn't have that X factor, but it's got the reliability factor, it's got the smooth factor, it's got a lot going on for it. And my first ever video for the Razor Company or for TRC was the Rockwell 6S. Still love that razor, but I wanted to go back to the Rockwell razors because of late in rotation I have had a Rockwell 6C, which is the chrome version. So I'm going to introduce the razor to you first, and before that, just a small note. Rockwell razors was started, way back in just post 2010, maybe 2012, 13. Could have got the dates wrong, but it was started by two University of Western students in Canada, and that was Gareth Edward and Morgan Nordstrom. Partners, they wanted to come out with a razor that was adjustable in a different way. Now, Above the Tie and a lot of other razor companies, of course, were coming out with, different base plates. But the concept of having a reversible base plate that has two different, blade gaps was actually Rockwell. So today, just to give you an example of that, let's look at the base plate itself. So this is the Rockwell 6C. That's the number 2, as you can see up close. And if I reverse it, you get the number 4. Well, let me just turn it around. Yeah. So now there's something to this, when you're talking about the number 4, the 4, if you want to use the 4-level base plate, the 4 has to be facing downward. If you want to use the 2-level base plate, the 2 has to be facing downward. And by that I mean, on the handle. So I'm going to be using the 4 base plate today. Now, the Rockwell 6C, this is a very, very interesting razor. The Rockwell 6C, of course, is the chrome version, which was, made in China. A lot of shavers initially said, the 6S is made in the United States and we should stick with that. I agree, it's a great razor. The 6S is an absolutely fantastic razor, but let's look at the price point of those, especially for those who are just getting into de-shaving or who don't really want to invest, who want to test the waters. I think the 6C is a great choice. It's also a razor that lasts you a lifetime if you take care of it. So I don't believe my chrome razors are really old, and Zamac doesn't really make a difference to me. They last forever. As long as you take care of them, rinse them, clean them dry, take off any soap, scum, or anything that's left on it. Make sure that the screw is cleaned really properly, and you'll be fine. So Rockwell 6C, I've got the gunmetal finish. As you can see, I've got a blade loaded in there. Well, just to give you what blade I'm using, the Tiger Platinum, stainless steel, made in Czechoslovakia and made in the Czech Republic, to be precise. Stainless steel, platinum coated, available at the Razor Company, 5 blades for under $1. I mean, think about it. Real value, isn't it? So we'll give these blades a good run today. Now, let's talk a little bit about this razor, all right? So this is the gunmetal finish. Now, with the plate loaded, and with the blade loaded, I'm saying, but with the plate on, it should weigh about 97 grams approximately. And if you compare that to the 6S, the 6S is about 119 grams. The 6S does feel a little more hefty, a bit more solid in your hand, but for some reason, for me, this weight is just perfect. It's just perfect. I love it. So let's talk about the price range. It's under $50 for the 6C. So $49.99 to be precise, let's say $50. And for the 6S, it's about 119.99, so that's about 120 US dollars. But if you compare the two, they're both great razors. The benefit of the 6C for many shavers, of course, is, you know, that polished finish, and many, well, will vouch for the fact that it kind of aids glide on the face. I have never found a difference. I found the 6S and the 6C to shave exactly the same. I just find that the 6C is a little more convenient. I, you know, use it as a travel razor. I don't have a box for it. It came in a cardboard box, which is long gone. But the 6S, of course, I always cleaned it and put it back in its main box. And to carry that around, well, tends to be a bit cumbersome for me. So both great razors. If you haven't tried the Rockwells, go in for the 6C. Try it out first. See if it works for you. And, you know, you can even choose the base blade that you like. You could even customize your 6S razor if you don't want to buy the whole set. Although the whole set with the 3 base plates, which give you 6 different blade gaps, will always work out cheaper. It's great value for money. So let's go back to the 6C and back to the Rockwells. For my brush today, I'm going to be I just newly acquired this brush. This is the Yaqi Freedom. It's got a 24mm cashmere knot, soft as ever. And it's got the coin right there at the bottom. Really love these colors. It's a tribute to the Italian flag. And for the soap, this is a special one. Southern Witchcrafts, you'll all be familiar with that, have recently, you know, shut shop. And if you can't find any of their product anywhere, I'd say grab it. Stephen, who was famous for those great dogwood brushes, great artisan, the lovely brush handles. Now, he and his partner, Courtney, of course, got together and they started Southern Witchcrafts. And they had all these soaps with those earthy fragrances, true to life fragrances, like a walk in the woods with wet leaves and dead wood, and you could literally smell it. A lot of people initially thought it was freaky, but according to me, one of the greatest soap artisans ever, period. Nobody ventured or, you know, went out of the box to create fragrances like this. Most artisans stick with cologne, with leather, with oud, with tobacco, and that's great. That's absolutely great. Nothing wrong with that. But I really admire what these guys did. And strangely, even though their soaps have a description of being very earthy, very musky, too many dark themes, when you actually use it as a shaving soap, it works as a shaving soap. It's fresh, it's invigorating. There are a few, you know, I think strong notes depending on what you choose. So for today, I'm going with a sample of Druantia. And I hope I got that right. Now the consistency is very, very soft. I would call it a croap, but it's more like a shaving cream, almost like a shaving cream. And the reason for that is it's got water, shea butter, castor, coconut, jojoba oils. There's kaolin clay, aloe powder, aloe liquid, and glycerin. Main ingredients. Now, the fragrance notes of this, the top notes, so the main notes are supposed to be cedar, oak moss, rosewood, and cypress. And there are other notes of moss, tobacco, fungus, sandalwood, mitsutake, which I don't know what that is, myrrh, amber, orange, and ginger. Now, let me tell you straight off the bat. You get a hint of rosewood. There's a strong note of ginger in there, a little bit of citrus. Definitely sandalwood. I'm not picking up the tobacco. Oak moss. I love oak moss in all my shaving soaps. It's there. This is supposed to be a celebration of the winter solstice, but actually, if you ask me, it's slightly floral, a little bit of spice in there, a little bit woody, but not too much. It's a very refreshing fragrance. I do like it. It's almost like burning a very light, flowery, subtle kind of incense, not the strong ones. Let's get straight down to shaving with these. For my aftershave, I'm going to be going with one of my favorites and a razor company, Master Soap Creations collaboration, Dylan. This, of course, is a homage to Versace Dylan Blue. absolutely love MSC and TRC collabs. So let's get straight down to the shave. My trusty Hendrix Classics and Company lather bowl. Just going to wet the brush a little bit. Now keep in mind the fact that Southern Witchcraft soaps are never, well, voluminous or, thick. They don't burst out of the bowl like, Phoenix Artisan accoutrements or like some of the other soaps. I think what Courtney and Stephen really used to focus on was a low structure lather. It was more about, lubricating the cheeks, kind of providing you with glide, cushion, and protection. So this is what the soap actually looks like. Just to give you a view. It's kind of creamy. It's kind of a little dense, but it's not really that, airy. And I actually do like that. Those fragrance notes I spoke about, they really open up. And this is what I love. And one of the reasons I'm really going to miss Southern Witchcrafts, it's kind of a sad day when, one of the artisans that you like shuts shop. Because all their fragrances reminded me about life. Walk in the woods, the fall season, banana. If you're a fan of banana, absolutely fabulous shaving soap. Grapefruit, if you're a fan of grapefruit, and my all-time favorite, of course, Fougere Nemata, which I will use on one of the videos. Let's get down to the first lather application. As always, Southern Witchcrafts, very, very good for the skin. The moment you put it on, you can feel it, and I do believe whatever is the base that Courtney was working with, being a full vegan base. Oh, this cashmere knot. It's like a baby's hand caressing your face. Remember my nephew when he was really small and I used to carry him. Oh, it's so soft. I didn't think it would be. Wonderful, wonderful knot. There are a couple of cashmere knots available at the Razor Company, and many from AP Shave Company. Pick them up. I do have one of those knots. I picked it up in Jan. Still have to put it onto a brush, but cashmere knots, just beautiful. I do like the way you can hold this handle, kind of ergonomic. I love the color of it. Oh, that's really soft. Beautiful soap, beautiful brush. It's a vegan shave today, and shout out to Stephen and Courtney. Thank you for all the soaps. Thank you for these great vegan products you gave us. It's been terrific trying out something that was so different from everything else. I'm very lucky that I've got a few stashed away so that I don't run out of it. And the moment, of course, that Southern Witchcrafts did announce that they were shutting shop, people started going berserk and buying products from wherever they were available online. I remember the Razor Company used to have them quite a while back, and they used to sell out really fast. So cherish them. If you do have them, cherish them. Artisans put a lot into the work that they do and what they create. And these themes, these fragrances, they were all very, very close to Courtney's heart. So, and for Garrett and Morgan, let's go with the 6C. It's going to be a joy getting back to the Rockwells after such a long time. And let me tell you how that Tiger Platinum performs in this as well. So, first pass. I'm going to say that straight off the bat. This is absolute comfort. It's just absolute comfort, and I mean it. The soap provides that glide, but the way this razor works, it's a funny thing, isn't it? We go through a whole lot of razors, And then some days you just want to get back to those old trusty favorites, and they just deliver. They always do. And I'm specifically talking about, let's say the R41. Let's say the R89, the DE89, the Rockwell 6S or 6C, the Edwin Jagger 316. These are razors that will always deliver. They will always deliver. And no matter what new razors and fancy razors come out, these, you can actually rely on them all the time. So reliable. And this Tiger Platinum blade, it's very, very smooth in this razor. Actually, that's one of the good things about the Rockwell razors. Throw any blade into it. Put a feather in. Throw a Kai blade in. Anything. And they will just perform. They'll always deliver. But this is one of the beautiful things. You know, I've always struggled of late with this area of my neck. Look how smooth that was. Just sometimes I do, of course, doubt, and I sometimes do believe that the 6C just edges out the 6S in terms of the way it moves on the face, at least on my troubled areas, but for the rest of the face it's all the same. Just feels so good. Just feels so good. And there's something about this gunmetal finish. I really like it. The silver one, the chrome one is also beautiful. If you go to the razor company, actually, I think the chrome one's available. There's also a whole lot of Rockwell products available, but the 6C is available in the PVD finished black. I haven't tried that out, to be honest, but it's also available in the actual gray or silver finish, and that one is fantastic. That's the one that I have. There were many complaints at one point of time that, you know, if you compared the Rockwell head to the Game Changer, and you'd have a problem getting under the nose. I have never ever had that issue, and I'm going to show it to you today in 2 passes. It'll just be a proper cleanup. I'm really enjoying that shave. I really am. There are some days when I use more aggressive razors, and you know, you want to be just a little bit careful with how you're going to, well, move that razor around your face so that you don't get cut. Not with this. This is like autopilot. So just going to go with the second lather. I'm going to say this again. If you do get yourself any Southern Witchcrafts soaps, go out and buy them. Seriously. They perform beautifully. They are excellent in terms of the base, in terms of the cushion, protection, and a glide. Go out and get them. And there are so many top vegan manufacturers, of course, today. There's, you know, Hendrix Classics and Company. Love what Pete Hendrix does. I love what Doug Smythe also does with, you know, PAA, which is Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Big fan of, you know, MDC and Saponificio Veracino. Once again, all vegan soaps. I'm not saying I don't like tallow. I love my tallow soaps. I'm not a vegan, but just to kind of reflect back, sometimes vegan soaps to just make you feel good. I don't know. And soaps like this. I mean, I'm putting this on my face, and I can actually picture myself somewhere, you know, in maybe in some valley or some wooded area, walking around and, smelling the natural fragrances of the trees, herbs, the grass, oak moss. I love this soap. I love this brush too. Cashmere knot. Get the AP Shave Company one, which is available at the Razor Company. This is one of the nicest. To be precise, this is my first time with a cashmere knot. It's one of the nice, and it's, I think, appropriately named, one of the nicest knots, synthetic knots I have ever used. We'll do a special one of the days on these different knots, but for now, I've still got a lot of lather left. Still here. Could probably go for another 1 or even 2 passes. So let's go with the second round, or the second pass with the Rockwell 6C. I almost actually gave mine away to a mate of mine, but he just seemed like he wasn't interested. That was when he was, trading a more aggressive razor with me. He just said that it wouldn't do it for him. I'm so glad he didn't take it. There's something about this razor that just ticks all the boxes, and I can't emphasize this enough. Even if you have a 6S, get yourself a 6C. It does provide a slightly different shave. I'm not going to be wrong about that. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. I'm never going to pit them against each other because I love them both. Depending on the occasion when I want to pull it out. And just look at the way it moves on the face. It's just, even on the neck area, even if I go XTG, smooth as silk, absolutely smooth as silk. I really wish that Rockwell one day comes out with a polished version of the stainless steel. Have tried writing in and, pestering them a couple of times. And there are many shavers, of course, who've had theirs polished, and it does make a little bit of a difference compared to that, bead blasted kind of finish. I'm not a fan of it. I can do with it, but given a choice, I would still want to get, and that's just a personal thing. Some of my friends, of course, prefer satin finishes because they're easier to maintain. They never lose their look. Polished, mirror polished razors can get scratches, and they tend to look, kind of used and bad after a bit of time, and you got to keep polishing them or you got to take really good care of them. This is something that I never realized. The residual slickness from the Southern Witchcrafts, terrific. Terrific. I'd probably go with about a 7.5 on 10 or an 8 on 10, at least with this one, with Druantia. Very, very nice. If you ever come across so many of our, popular shavers, the big guys. I'm big in size, but I'm not a big shaver. But if you go and look at, some of the lads that I love watching, Kevy Shaves, Geo Fat Boy, Sinatra Lennon, even for that matter, Ken Surfs. And they will all talk very highly of the Rockwell. Kevy and Sinatra have, once said that if they had to live with only one razor, it would be the Rockwell 6S. So think about it. And now I'm saying, if you have the Rockwell 6S, get the 6C. If you've never used a Rockwell, get the 6C. Because that'll give you an entry into the Rockwell razors and how they work. Beautiful handle, lovely knurling, just so comfortable to use. And I do like this 97 grams a little bit more than I prefer the stainless steel one. And that's a very personal thing, of late. Maybe I'm just growing older. I've started gravitating towards lighter razors. And I was just going to ask you, I actually got a small weeper. That's when I went XTG hard. When a razor inspires confidence in you, that's what happens. Take it easy. This razor will only cut you or give you a weeper when you force it to, which is what I did. I dragged it across really hard on my neck a while back. And that's what happens when you get so comfortable or in autopilot mode. Keep a light touch, and this razor is never going to ever... It will never really cut you, even with a feather. This razor is so good, and you can even tone it down, take it to level 3 or a level 2 if you want. I've never used a 1 or a 2. I started on level 4. Once in a while I use 6, but 4 is the sweet spot in the Rockwell, and I love that. And that's coming from somebody who likes shaving with the R41, the Rotor, Green Cult version 1. But every razor in the world has a sweet spot. Every razor. And that's what gives us its... And you're going to ask me, what is the sweet spot? The sweet spot is finding that plate or that level in the razor, that base plate, which gives you the perfect balance of smoothness and efficiency. Now, I could be wrong. Other shavers may differ in thought. But while the 6S, the level 6 plate or the base plate, number 6 for me is my favorite. On days when I want a drama-free shave, I just drop it down to 4. Because 6 sacrifices a bit of the smoothness. 4 is perfect for smoothness and efficiency. Now, I had 3 days of growth. And look at that. That's just a fantastic shave. I just had a very slight weeper here earlier, but it's actually gone away. And that's because I dragged it, across the grain. This is a very sensitive area. Normally, even the big shavers, the popular shavers, don't go XTG. They kind of just avoid that because you can injure yourself. So, great residual slickness from the soap. I can still feel it. Fantastic soap. It smells wonderful. Oh yeah, it smells so nice. That orange and ginger, I can get that coming through. The bowl, of course, for today was my Hendrix Classics stainless steel lather bowl. The Yaqi Freedom 24mm Cashmere knot, Italian flag tribute. The blade was very nice. Sharp, forgiving. That's the Tiger Platinum. Platinum coated stainless steel blades made in the Czech Republic. The Rockwell 6C razor. Once again, I'm going to say, go to the razor company. If you don't own this, get it. Absolutely fantastic razor. You can tone it up or down with the base plates, but plate 4, just love it. The soap, of course, was a tribute. Not really a goodbye, but a thank you to Stephen Joyner and to Courtney for giving us Southern Witchcrafts. This was Druantia. And the sample, I really love it. I do have, of course, full tubs of the other ones that I like Fougere Nemotha and Banana. Don't have grapefruit, but I will miss them. I will really miss them. So let's go with the homage to Versace Dylan Blue. This is the Master Soap Creations Aftershave. Skin-friendly ingredients in there. And even though it doesn't have any alcohol, it actually does sting if you've gone too close with your razor. And that's due to the active ingredients in it. Oh, today it's... Yeah. I can feel I can feel the sting. And that's because it's got all these skin-friendly ingredients that also have antibacterial properties. Absolutely love that shave. It was fantastic. And I do hope you enjoyed staying with me through it. So that's all from me, GMAC, and time for me to shut shop and ship out of here. And on behalf of the Razor Company to say bye-bye for now and happy shaves.